all the trees on earth were pens, and the ocean were ink, with 7 oceans behind it to add to its supply, yet would not the words of Allah be exhausted in the writing. For Allah is exhausted in power, full of wisdom. And your creation or your resurrection is in no wise but as an individual soul. For Allah, He is He who hears and sees all things. Seest thou not that Allah merges night into day, and He merges day into night, that He has subjected the sun and the moon to His law, each running its course for a term appointed, and that Allah is well acquainted with all that ye do. That is because Allah is the only reality, and because whatever else they invoke besides Him is falsehood. And because Allah is He, the most high, the most great, seest thou not that the ships sail through the ocean by the grace of Allah, that He may show you of His signs? Verily, in this are signs for all who constantly persevere and give thanks. Allah surely speaks the truth. But if you take all the trees on this planet Earth, and you take the oceans and you multiply it by 7, and you dip those trees into the oceans, and you try to exhaust the mercies of Allah, you will be a fool trying. You cannot do it. The mercy of Allah, the knowledge of Allah, it is so extensive that there are things that come in this future. We have no idea the world is coming for us. The world that we will be if Allah allows it to stay in existence. No idea, right? But as the Muslim, as the Khalifa of the earth, as the one who is trying to build this model community, we have to compete. We have to compete in this world. We have to be able to compete in a world where politics are going, corruption and politics is going amok. You got someone in office that is as crazy as he want to be, right? The world of business, in this world of business, the world of business, and I'm here to let you know, the capitalism is not your friend. Meaning, capitalism, the way it's designed in the United States, is to oppress and to take as much advantage of you as you can until you just feel like you can't take no more. They don't, basically, if you're getting paid an hourly wage, right, then you are in a position where you are making someone else rich, and someone else is, some of us are happy to make $2,000-$3,000 a week. Well, they're happy to make that every second. So for us to be competitive in this world, we have to understand that we have to be, one, about this mission in this Quran, but 2, be very practical in applying it to our life. There's no way for you to be well versed in this Quran and know the Sunnah of the Prophet, and you're a wimp. You're a man who doesn't take care of his family. You're a man who can't provide for his wife. I'm not saying this to get down on my brothers. I'm saying this to say that Islam is here to build your strength. So if you find yourself, when you look in the mirror, if you lack strength, know that He's already put it inside of you to be great. He's already put it inside of you to take care of your responsibilities. He's already put it inside of you to be the protector and provider of women. So inshallah, we move forward in that vein, and at this point in time, inshallah, we'll take a break, inshallah. Being before you, it's interesting. Got a bunch of notes that were prepared. And a week ago, the Imam, he said, sometimes the law just move you that'll throw all your notes away. So, in my maturation process to try to be a more effective communicator, inshallah, I will improve, but I got a bunch of notes, and it's like gibberish when you're up here. You read your notes, and things just get a little shaken. But a lot to item. We're gonna move forward, and this is really what I'm learning right now. Is you put your bullet points this up, and then you talk from the heart. Yeah, you can't be up here just reading. You be gone. You be lost. So, in my quest to deliver some information, some good information to you, in this day and age where I said you can move at the speed of thought, Allah has blessed us, blessed the community to have access to information instantaneously. And there's probably a gift and a curse with that instantaneous information. The gift is you can, like the movie in the Matrix, you can download information just like that, right? The curse with it though is you got a lot of people out here talking about a bunch of stuff they have no knowledge of. you can put yourself in a world of trouble if you want to get up, if you want to be before people and sound like intellectual, but you don't have it backed up based on true intellect and true knowledge. Saying that to say that I was trying to move on some content, and of course I want to get some words from Imam Warif Muhammad. And this is so important. I want to share this with you all. Growing up in the community with Imam Warif Muhammad, my father was a person that was, he understand the weight and the magnitude of what Imam Warif Muhammad meant, may Allah be pleased with him, meant to this community. My father came from the Nation of Islam. He was in the days and age where, he had that language of the white man's the devil and there's a man that's God. He came through that. And he transitioned in 75 to a place of true reality of what Allah intends for all of us. He came to the reality that, there's no God but Allah. He came to the reality under the guidance and the leadership of Imam Warif Muhammad. That we are no different than the Muslims in the Arab world as far as our faith is concerned. We're no different than the Muslims of the Arab world or the Muslim humanity, the oneness of the humanity. What I know and what I've come to realize and find for myself is that the language of Imam Warif Muhammad is no different than having a doctor that's able to prescribe your troubles and give you the prescription, right? If you have no knowledge of science and you have an ailment on your leg, you have an ailment in your body, you have an ailment, right? And you go read some books and you try to just give yourself a prescription, you can do yourself some great harm. But having the wisdom and the hikmah of this Quran and then understanding our people, our distinct experiences coming through the times of slavery, moving into the civil rights movement, moving into this day and age where things have appeared to become better but really have not. The language of Imam Warif Muhammad, it gives us the ability to discern. It gives us the ability to read this Quran and then see yourself. That's the most important aspect to it. Wallahi, this is Allah's my witness. There was Dr. Nasser Muhammad, I believe his name. Well, he's a doc, he's a surgeon, and forgive me for that. And that's Dr. Nasser. But he was given a cookbook that I was reading, and he said this is straight from Imam Warif Muhammad. But what he said was that two things are so important. He said that your brain, it looks like a cloud. If you look at your brain, the actual physical being of your brain, it has ridges and it looks just like a cloud. And what he said was that the Quran revealed to Prophet Muhammad, where's my notes at? If I can read it, it'd be better. The Quran revealed to Prophet Muhammad how condensation works. And this is before scientists even had an idea how condensation works. The water that's on the earth, it evaporates, right? The sun rays evaporate this water. It goes into the clouds, and when it goes into the clouds create, it stores that energy, it stores that moisture, and nitrogen is added to it. And when that mass of energy is up there and it's getting stirred, then lightning strikes, right? Allah has lightning that comes out, and that's a sign to us as well. But when that lightning strikes, and then that rain comes down, what comes from that rain that comes down? The water that comes down with nitrogen, it produces, it gives life to the earth, all right? So what he said was that brain that looks like a cloud, if we are understanding ourselves when we read this ayat, I wish I could find this ayat right now. But if you are understanding yourself when you read this part of the Quran, then you understand that your brain is similar to that of the cloud. It's kind of odd that there's a similarity the way the brain looks and the way the cloud looks, right? But if you are understanding your position in this earth and understanding your responsibility to your community, then it should stir up inside of you, mankind, that the water, what the water represents. The water represents purity and cleanliness. That should stir up in you, and your energy should get that water to go rise into that intellect, into that brain. And when that brain is starting to be moved, then lightning should strike. You should get an idea that's going to move this community forward. You should get an idea that's going to change this humanity. You should get an idea that's going to allow for our sisters and brothers to move away from the destructions of this world. And when that lightning comes out, that rain should come out based on what you're producing. Based on what you are producing. So when I sit up here, when I go, when I'm 41, and alhamdulillah I made it to 41, but when I see our communities and I see that we've been coming to prayers and we've been coming to Jummah practice, or coming to Jummah prayers, but we're not producing at the level that we can, it bothers me. It bothers my soul, but it bothers my heart. Wallahi. And the purpose and meaning for me to be before you is to try to spark something in this youth. Spark something in this youth so that we can go out, start connecting with each other, putting our resources together, and bring something that can affect this world, bring truth to the people, and do something amazing, do something big. Inshallah. So the burdens of humanity, the burdens of the tricks of shaitan. I'm going to touch on this, and then we're going to be closing up very soon. My clock here. All right. So the burdens of the tricks of shaitan. So, it's the tricks of shaitan. That's what we open with. We open up with class. Allah is one. He neither begets nor is he begotten. Nothing is like unto he. And I told you a little bit about the jewel wasp and the cockroach, and I got you to see how in nature, changing that brain of the cockroach is what allows him to be a subservient, docile creature that's just used to merely be preyed upon. So as societies become more developed and more and become more expanded, there's tricks of shaitan that are forces of shaitan where they are interested in keeping us very docile, keeping us very complacent, keeping us in a position where there's no advancement. And it's our objective so that we can use our intellect to overcome these challenges. So some of the things that I want to talk about, some of the challenges that we face today, some of them I'm going to speak on them, and then we'll be closing out very soon. But Ikhlas, Allah is one. He neither begets nor is begotten. This right here goes against the biggest devils, the biggest devil of devils. To have mankind, the worst form of oppression, to have mankind to pray or to worship something other than Allah is the worst form of oppression. Worst form of oppression. And the African American, so to speak, my brothers and sisters, and the African diaspora. So it's not just here; it's over in Africa. It's all over the place. There's parts of the world where people go with their wealth, and they find a place where people are starving. People have no clothes. People have nothing whatsoever. They give them a little food. They give them a little clothing, and then they put the trick of shaitan where they say the white man is your God. That's a very, very nasty trick, right? I was in the Goodwill the other day, and I'm checking out, and I got a little Asian woman, a little Chinese woman that says, God, Jesus Christ died for your sins. And I'm like, wow, it took me aback, because I don't really see Asians on that page. But for her to say that to me, it just lets me know that the mission of shaitan and to get people confused and to get people out of their nature, he's heavy on his job. We have the truth. We have the reality of the truth, and that truth must go to the community. But it's more wisdom and hikmah than just talking to people. They must see your example. On your day-to-day grind, there's 7 days in a week. On your 7-day grind, the people should be looking at you and saying, there's something special about that brother. There's something special about that brother. More than just he don't stay away from pork. There's something about him, how he carries himself, that's intriguing. The attraction that we should have to our religion and our way of life should be through our example. Not only just from our day-to-day actions, but our business. From our ability to produce, from our ability to protect and provide for our women, for our ability for our women to be the first teachers of the generation yet to come. Those are the ideas that I have of how we should. And then the other thing, so this trick of getting people to worship a white God, that's the basis and the foundation for white supremacy. I hope you understand this and notice the basis for white supremacy is to get you black people to go worship a man, not only just a man, but then gonna go worship a white man. What? Whew. Thank Allah that I never had to combat that. You know, I'm wrapping up here in about 2 minutes ago. I'm gonna say something real quick. For the people that were, alhamdulillah, born in a Muslim home, alhamdulillah, we have the blessings of Allah that were given, that were provided in the environment that we grew up in. But the one who has fought through the wilderness of this North America and then found their way to Islam, that's something to speak highly of, right? Unfortunately, when we were born, there's so many people that I knew that grew up in a Muslim household, and today they going darling, way off track. But for you to be in the wilderness, and then Allah to touch your heart, and then to find your way, that's a true testament of your nature to do what God has intended you for you to be, and obedient what Allah has prescribed for you. So, inshallah, if I said anything that was good, know that it came from the Creator. If I said anything that was incorrect or wrong, it came from my lower levels of thinking. Inshallah, I will improve. And assalamu alaikum.